Good morning and welcome to all my dears. Today we are going to discuss about another common form of auto antibody, autoimmune thyroid problems, namely Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It is discovered by another physician. His name is Dr. Hashimoto in 1912, and thereby the disease is naming as Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It is commonly seen in females, especially in their fourth decades of life, with a greater family tendency. That means genetically programmed problem with them. Next, about the pathogenesis of Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Due to altered cell-mediated immunity, the same will result in stimulation of B lymphocytes, which results in production of autoantibody. Unfortunately, the same autoantibody may act against the thyroid globulin or thyroid microsomes, or act against the thyroidal colloidal antigens, or even to the thyroidal nuclear components. This action may result in total or partial destruction of the thyroid glands, and which will surely result in the failure of the gland to convert the iodine into thyroid hormones. And because of all this change, as a compensatory mechanism, you can see in patient with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, there may be slight enlargement of the gland can be seen. Regarding the symptom of a patient with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, as in case of hypothyroidism, mostly the problem may be with their obesity or with constipation or with their low spirit. That means they may not have any interest in anything, either social interaction or family interaction, or to communicate with friends or relatives. They always wants to be alone, or they feels as if they are very lazy. They wants to sit in their house. They may feel extreme shyness, and other problem may be with their over dryness of the skin. The PC may be like that of a cosmetic issue, but actually it is not because of the local or cosmetic problem. It is because of the inability of the skins to protect the normal texture due to the deposition of the myxomatous tissues or polysaccharides. All this may leads to dry, parched, rough skin or very thick skin. On examination in some of our patients with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, there may be goiter or abnormal enlargement of the gland can be seen, and due to the lack of energy or due to the low metabolism. The patient feels unexplainable fatigability. And another cosmetic problem may be the loss of hair or falling of hair or brittleness of hair. All these hair problem may be because of the, or it is because of the deposition of the myxomatous tissues at the hair root, and thereby the hair may not get the proper nutrition or vitamins or enzymes for the growth of the hair follicle. In such condition, loss of hair may be the great problem of your patient. Regarding the menstrual issue, like that of a case of fibroid uterus, the patient may complain of heavy bleeding or irregular menstrual flow or intermenstrual flow, etc. may be their problem. Other signs and symptoms like that of stiffness of joints, like that of a case of rheumatoid arthritis. They feels very difficult to move, especially the first movement may aggravates their problem. And other problem may be unexplained weight gain may be their problem. Then swelling of the face may misdiagnosed by we people as whether it may be a case of renal edema. It is not because of any renal involvement. It is because just only a puffiness of the face or a round puffy face. It's also because of low metabolism. So the PC may be, or PC of a patient of Hashimoto's thyroiditis may par with the normal hypothyroid. And on examination, you can see there may be very normal T3 and T4 with a little TSH can be seen. You may wonder why our patient is having, the patient is having sufficient amount of T3 and T4 with a little elevation of the TSH only. It's only because of the, as you know, most of the thyroid hormones are in bounded form. Near about 99% of the thyroid hormones are bounded hormone. These bounded hormones cannot get entry in the metabolic activity. Only the free hormones or detached hormones from the bounding proteins, only free hormones can get entry in the cell and involve in the metabolic activity. In Hashimoto's thyroiditis, you can see most of the hormones are very bounded hormones and a very low free hormones, especially low FT4 with a low FT3. That's the great issue in Hashimoto's thyroiditis. To pinpoint the diagnosis, we can have the analysis and evaluation by autoantibody analysis. Here in Hashimoto's thyroiditis, you can check the ATA or antithyroid antibodies or ATPO, antithyroid peroxidase antibodies, or ATG, that is anti-thyroid globulin antibody, or AMA, as antimicrosomal antibody or ANA, anti-nuclear antibodies, etc. But in clinical practice, most commonly used autoantibody to detect or to diagnose the Hashimoto's thyroiditis is ATPO antibody. So, by evaluating such a investigative protocol, you can also see that along with the Hashimoto's thyroiditis, our patient is also having some other comorbidity like other autoimmunity like rheumatoid arthritis, SLE or systemic lupus erythematosus, or they may having ulcerative colitis or pernicious anemia or with Addison's disease. So the autoimmunity may play or it may affect other system also. On biopsy, by doing a biopsy, you can see that there is high infiltration of the lymphocytes with fragmentation and degradation of basement membrane, and there is presence of specialized cells known as Ashkenazi cells with changes in cytoplasm. So, the Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an autoimmune disease due to the overactivation of the B lymphocytes that causes production of autoantibodies. The same may result in severe form of hypothyroidism. And most of the hypothyroid patients belongs to this Hashimoto's thyroiditis. 80% of the hypothyroid patient belongs to Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It is nothing but an autoimmune thyroid problem. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you.